Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Midoriya was offered to join the League of Villains. Last time we left off when Midoriya did his battle trial and the quirk test with Aizawa and his class. His his battle trial was actually a lot different. The teams were different, and he kind of destroyed Bakugo in front of everyone, and Bakugo was completely, utterly shocked by this because he's never seen Midoriya's quirk, and he doesn't understand how. Like, he has seen it, but well, just for a month now, but he doesn't understand why he didn't show all these years. And once he asked Midoriya's like, it's none of your business, and plus I don't want to tell you because you're not worthy of being my friend anymore, Kachan, or should I say Katsuki, because Midoriya doesn't like him anymore. That's what I'm saying. He might have kind of the same personality, but he's completely changed after what happened to him and all the feelings he has. Like, sometimes he still writes about suicidal thoughts and all of them, but of course right now he's more focused on fixing the hero world, and he wants to destroy all the villains and destroy all the heroes that are not worthy of being called a hero, and do it for the money. So if I remember correctly, next should be the attack on the USJ. So the attack on the USJ goes pretty similar. No, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. It goes a lot different. So at the beginning, they enter the USJ as a normal. Bakugo's just pissed. Midoriya's like, I can't be asked doing this, and everyone else is just the same. And Todoroki is looking at Midoriya because he's so confused that how Midoriya is so fast and so strong without even using his quirk. He could just be a hero without using it, and he realizes that Midoriya will be a fine hero, and he admires that Midoriya must have worked hard to achieve this kind of level of strength and speed and resilience. So the USJ attack, before it happens, Midoriya the day before was told, and he did have to tell the League of Villains. He told All Might that he will be telling the League of Villains, and they're planning an attack on the USJ. So All Might was in there. He did come in early just to go there with them, and the USJ attack begins. So I'll say that what they did is they blew everyone away in the same spot. So Asui, Midoriya, and Mineta were sent into the boat. I'm sorry for saying it's just my it comes spontaneously when I'm trying to read something, because when I just can't read the next word I'm like and then I calculate the word into my brain. That doesn't make sense, don't take me seriously. I just say spontaneously because that's how I read. And every time, even in class, when I read out loud, I'm like, when 100,000 members of the Boston police force went on strike. Yeah, that's how I read in class as well. So I'm sorry for saying so much, but I will try my best to not say it anymore. This time what I do now is just stop the recording midway and then read it all again, and then read it out to you guys. So let's continue. So Midoriya does tell them a few quirks, he tells them Bakugo's quirk. He has to tell them the truth now because they will know the quirks in the sports festival, and when they attack the USJ. So he tells them the real quirks. He doesn't tell them the fake ones on this one, and he told All Might that he will be telling them real information now because they will find out anyway. And if they find out that he has been lying, they will try to kill him and end him right on the spot. So he tells them the right information and what time, but he doesn't tell them that All Might will be there. He says, I'm not sure if All Might will be there, since I'm not too close to him, but I have a hunch that I'm thinking that he will be there. I have a hunch because he is a teacher, and he is really interested in our training, especially the first years, because apparently we made a good impression. And All for One is just there. He already knows that thing. All Might is just searching for a predecessor, so not a predecessor, a successor, to take All for or One for All and be the next All Might. And he knows that he needs to end All Might on that day with the Nomu and everyone else, all the villains. Well, not really villains, they were just thugs, the daddy thugs, he says in the anime. So I'll say that they attack 10 minutes later, so everyone does get to see the USJ, and then the entrance, and that's when the villains appear. So the villains appear and they say, so Midoriya wasn't wrong. They're all here. This Aizawa, Eraserhead, and oh, see, All Might's really here, and All Might's already in his buff state because he can't show the others yet. And basically, what happens is that they unleash the first Kurogiri, not teleports them, warps them away, and then the Nomu appears, and the Nomu starts attacking All Might. All Might wants to end this straight away, but he can't because he sees Aizawa fighting all the others, all the other thugs and villains, and all the students fighting off other villains, while 13 is trying to protect the ones that she has with them. And he can't really concentrate, so he's trying to dodge most of the blows. And once he actually tried to do a Detroit smash, the Nomu just absorbed it and didn't take any damage, and then uppercutted him. And everyone was like, what the hell? What? All Might's punch, Detroit smash, didn't do anything. And All Might is confused at this, and he realizes that he has to trust the all the others, that he won't be having to worry about them, and he can fight all out. So he tries another Detroit smash, and then out of nowhere, behind him, whoops, Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is about to basically disintegrate All Might with one touch, but then what's it called? I forgot the name. 13 basically tried to absorb him and says, no you don't. And then what Shigaraki, damn, I completely messed up the name, I can't believe it. Shigaraki throws a knife, and basically he stabs All Might's hip. All Might takes out, and he realizes that his time has been decreased even further because of now a new injury. So he wants to end it as fast as possible, but every time he tries to do a really strong Detroit smash, Kurogiri appears and basically warps his fist away into the sky or something, so he doesn't do any damage. And that's when Bakugo decided, oh you little, and then basically he blasted into Kurogiri, and he just went through Kurogiri, and basically he returned on the on the roof, and he's like, what the not on the roof, like on top of the roof of the building, and he basically blasted so hard back into the fight. And this time he actually got Kurogiri's neck thing, I forgot the name, and basically then Todoroki's like, I'll help him out, and 13's like, no don't, and then Shigaraki appears and tries to disintegrate Bakugo as well, but then All Might sees that. He punches Nomu with the left hand, and then with the right hand underneath he basically uses air pressure, and he says Detroit air pressure or something like that, and he blows away Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is just getting angrier and angrier. He's like, why isn't this working? Did Midoriya tell us the wrong information? And then basically Kurogiri whoops away. I don't even know how. Just he whoops away because Bakugo took off his attention for a second, and well, put his guard down. And basically Todoroki was still coming, and he says, "No, look!" And then basically Kurogiri whoops away next to Shigaraki, telling him, "Don't worry, Shigaraki. Midoriya hasn't told us the wrong information. They're all here. All their quirks are the ones that we knew. And look, and our normal isn't doing too bad. We're going to win this, don't worry." And basically, while this is all happening, we skip to Midoriya, and Midoriya is getting ready to basically pummel every single one of them with all for one, one for all full cowling at 7%, because his body is more than ready to use more than 7%, but he only uses 7% because he doesn't know if it's going to go broken or something. That's a lot of words. So basically what happens is Arthur is that, "Hey Midoriya, can you use air pressure to like All Might, since your quirk is similar to his?" And Midoriya's like, "Yeah, I can, but why?" And then basically you know the plan that Midoriya has in the original, I'll say Asui has it, and Midoriya's like, "That's actually a really good plan. Alright, let's do it." So basically Midoriya gets thrown up in the air, and he says, he basically does the thing where he has 5% all on his body, and then once he tries to punch, he puts 20% onto his fist, so he does a lot of air pressure, and it's not as strong, because last time he used 100% on just a finger, but this time it's more efficient, and it's not, let's say it still works, but not as well, but it's enough to take out all the villains. So now Midoriya, Asui, and Mineta are going to the city side, where I forgot, was it the city side? I forgot where they head to Tokoyami and Koji or Koda. I'm not sure which one you guys call it. I call him Koji. I don't mind. I usually call them both, but whatever. They go to them and they help them out as well, and they get out, and so then they see Shigaraki and Kurogiri standing on top of a building watching the fight against All Might. All Might, he is not struggling, but he's more worried about Aizawa, and he keeps looking back to see if Aizawa is alright, and Aizawa is doing fine until he finishes the fight, and he goes to help out All Might by trying to erase the normal's quirk, but this normal had multiple quirks, like shockwave absorption and other quirks. I forgot, because normals have multiple quirks usually, and basically he's like, "What the hell?" And what the normal does is he punches All Might, sends him flying for a second. All Might stops, but then basically Aizawa tries to attack him just to wrap him around so he can stop his movement with his scarf thing, and basically he runs around him with the scarf thing, and he tied him up, but then the normal literally broke out, and Aizawa tried to get closer and do it. Maybe it wasn't tight enough, and basically got pummeled just like the original. And then All Might comes out of nowhere and punches the normal so hard the normal went flying. And he's like, "Aizawa, are you right?" And then Shigaraki arrives, and he sees he's trying to destroy All Might and his Aizawa together, but then basically what happens is Midoriya, he does an air pressure attack onto Shigaraki, and basically says, "Wait, don't." And then basically Shigaraki goes back to Kurogiri. Well, Kurogiri whoops Shigaraki back and says, and Shigaraki is complaining about Midoriya getting in the way, and then then what happened when Kurogiri is like, "Wait, look, 13 was ready to absorb you. You know what happens when 13 absorbs something, right?" And Shigaraki's like, every time this little brat gets away with it because he's always in the right somehow, and he's getting annoyed, and then basically All Might is like, young Midoriya, take care of Aizawa while I take care of the Nomu, or whatever they call it. And basically he destroys the Nomu just like usual, and the Nomu's captured, and basically the USJ attack didn't go as well as they thought, and Midoriya didn't break any limbs here. And also people were actually really impressed by Midoriya's air pressure attack, just like All Might's one, and they were asking about his quirk, and Midoriya's like, it's none of your business, I should have told you guys. And then he goes off with Aizawa to the to recovery girl, because he needs Aizawa to get back into shape, because he's the teacher. So Aizawa goes back, and then that was it for season 1, to be honest. And I will be doing season 2 now in the same What If. I'm making this a bit longer. This What If's probably going to be short, because remember, I'm doing long parts and I'm covering a lot of stuff in one part, and there are only 4 seasons with a few arcs in each season. Like season 1 has only 3 arcs. Well, imagine Naruto. He has the Land of Waves arc, the Chunin exams, the the getting Tsunade back. That was a few episodes. Also the Sasuke retrieval arc. Then we have Shippuden. That's 4 seasons. Oh, that's 4 arcs, but the arcs were actually really good. Even I'm not saying My Hero Academia arcs are bad. And then we have Shippuden, Gaara's arc. Then what's it called? Or the Team 10 fight against the Akatsuki, and then again the Akatsuki fight 2, and then we have the we have the Orochimaru arc as well, but that was only a few episodes. And then we have Orochimaru getting killed by Sasuke, then Sasuke versus Itachi, and then while that's happening we get we get Jiraiya versus Pain, and then Jiraiya dies, and after that we get Sasuke joining the Akatsuki, and then we get the Pain arc, and then also we get the War arc, we get the 5 Kage Summit arc, and all of them arcs in just one. I know it's a long anime, but that's why Naruto is more, Naruto and Dragon Ball, those kind of animes are more are easier to make What Ifs on, because they are longer and you can make longer series. But this What If hasn't got too many series, too many arcs yet, and I haven't caught up with the manga, so and plus I don't want to do any manga spoilers. I'm only doing anime only What Ifs, and so basically now I will go into season 2, and season 2 started off with. So now we start season 2. Sorry if I was talking about Naruto or something like that. I don't know why I started, but whatever. So we start season 2. Season 2 started off with the sports festival, so I'll get straight into it. So before the sports festival, let's say like a week or 2 before, Midoriya was basically training with All Might and also with the League of Villains. By the time the sports festival arrived, Midoriya is able to now use let's say 12% of One For All, and if he really concentrates he can use 20% all over his body, but and you know the wind pressure thing, he could go up to 25%, but it's hard and he cannot get distracted while using 20% all over his body, or he will disintegrate himself. So he sticks to 12 or 15%, sometimes 15% when it's needed, or 20% when it's just a crisis situation. And basically the the sports festival start off the same. Sorry guys, I'm kinda ill. So they start the same by Todoroki challenging Midoriya, and Midoriya this time isn't scared. He's like, alright, we'll see who's going to be the winner. And I'll say that this year's the class 1A's representative is Midoriya this time instead of Bakugo, because Bakugo did lose against Midoriya. So they lost anyway in the thing, but Midoriya's is better now. So what Midoriya says is that he will be the winner, and he will see if on the only person who can win is someone who's worthy to become a hero, and people who lose in even in the first round, they are not worthy to become a hero. They're only doing it for the fame, and he just leaves. So he left the podium, and everyone's kind of pissed. So everyone's pretty much pissed that Midoriya is being so cocky, and his whole class is like, he's just like Bakugo, man. And they know that this is not the real Midoriya, because they know usually he's just silent, cool-headed. And by the way, Midoriya did still make friends with Ida and Uraraka, so they're still friends. And Uraraka Uraraka did still tell her why she wants to become a hero for the money. And Midoriya was kind of pissed when she said for the money, but then he asked, but why only for the money? And then because he wants to know what someone with the he wants to know how someone else feels, like if they just want money because they want to become a hero, they want to become a hero because they want money. He wants to know why someone would do that. And then Uraraka does tell her story about her parents not being able, being poor, and she wants to help them. And that kind of changes Midoriya, and he kind of sees that why some heroes do it for the money. Maybe it's for their families, but he knows some just do it completely for the fame and glory. So he doesn't really hate Uraraka, but he actually respects Uraraka because uh, because she wants money, but not for herself, but for her family, and to make her parents proud and happy. So he doesn't really hate her, but he still thinks that most heroes that do it for the money is just because they want to be famous. But let's not get into that. So the exam starts, and here the exam doesn't go similar. So basically, at the beginning, Midoriya just blitzes through everyone, goes through everyone. Before they could even make a crowd to get out of the stadium, he's already out of it. And then Todoroki freezes everyone, and he gets out. He's right behind. He's right next to Midoriya now, thanks to his speed. And so then Bakugo is right behind them, and Midoriya's like, "Wow, you're actually keeping up with my speed." But just saying, I'm still not using my quirk. And then Midoriya's like, "I'll see you at the finish line, Todoroki." And Midoriya is completely gone. He actually goes so fast. Todoroki and Bakugo, who was like, let's say 50 meters away from them, he got blown back as well, just by the speed that Midoriya just showed. And he arrived to the bomb area, the bombing area. Bombing area, that sounds a bit I feel like people can get demonetized if they say bomb. I don't know. So he gets to the harder bit, the last bit where the grenades are, and he basically steps once and then moves back because he thought it's way too easy to just go through. And the proctor did say, President Mike did say, it will be full of obstacles. So he steps once and then jumps back, and then an explosion happens, and he realizes that there are grenades everywhere, and he has to think of a plan. So what he does is that he gets his sword, and basically sorry. So he gets his sword and stabs one of the grenades, and then he explodes. But then Midoriya used the explosion just like how he did in the original. He didn't send him too far, but what he done is basically threw his sword again. Then he landed on it, and then the sword and him got blown away. And he kept doing that until he got to the finish line, and then he finished. He finished, let's say, 2 minutes before Todoroki and Bakugo could even come to the grenade area. And once they arrived into the stadium again, Midoriya was just sitting there, meditating. Not meditating, he was just sitting there bored and He was about to fall asleep until not Todoroki. Bakugo came up to him and said, "Deku, how did you do that? How are you so fast all of a sudden?" And then Midoriya's like, "Don't touch me. Um, remember what I told you. You and me are not in the same league. Not anymore." And then Bakugo's like, "Hell yeah, you're way weaker than me," and then basically tries to blast him. But then what happens next is kind of scares Bakugo to a bit, not too much. Basically, Midoriya disappears from his grasp and basically appears behind him with his not with his sword, but with a little dagger that he has, and says, "You move another inch and your throat is going to be sliced." And this kind of alerted all the teachers there, and basically a teacher came. I'll say Aizawa arrived, and not Aizawa, he's in the proctor. Basically, I'll say Aizawa said, "Midoriya, put that weapon down. You're not allowed to use it." I said sword. You're not allowed to use sword, any weapons, right? I'll say that Midoriya basically. Oh damn! I didn't mean sword. So basically, before I said sword, right? I'm sorry for saying that. What I meant was that he basically destroyed one of those 0 pointer robots easily, and then he took a part from it. And while he was going, he basically broke it into a sword like, a katana like plastic thing. It wasn't plastic, it was metal, so he could have used that as a sword as well. So he used that as the tool, and basically he had another piece on him that he made they look like a little dagger, and basically he said, "Move another inch and you die." And everyone, the Aizawa was like, "Midoriya, go throw them away, you're not allowed to use them." And it wasn't illegal for Midoriya to use them, and he kept them. So Midoriya basically just showed to everyone how fast he is, and that he is not a normal student. He is probably already at a level of a. So Midoriya turned around and he went to the backstages to throw her away, and then 3 minutes later, I'll say, everyone else arrived, and everyone was asking what happened. We heard Mr. Aizawa was saying, "Midoriya, go throw them away. What just happened?" And then basically Todoroki is like, "Oh, so basically Bakugo was annoying Midoriya, so Midoriya used one of the pieces of those robots to threaten him," and Aizawa told him to throw her away. So everyone was kind of surprised that Midoriya would actually go and actually threaten Bakugo, because they all thought that him and Bakugo and Midoriya were childhood friends and they went to the same middle school. So they were kind of confused with the Midoriya's actions, but they shrugged it off. And then the next, the first 42 had to duke it out together in in the second phase of the second. What was it called? The the second part of the sports festival. So here, the teams are pretty much the same: Bakugo, Kirishima, Mina, and I forgot the other one. Who was the other one? Bakugo, Kirishima. Whatever. I'm sure you all know. And also Todoroki, Ida, Yaoyorozu, and I remember now. Bakugo, Kirishima, Mina, and the tape dude, and Todoroki, Yaoyorozu, Ida, and also Kaminari, and then it's Midoriya with Uraraka, Mei, Hatsume. I don't know her name. Was it Hatsume? Mei? I don't know. And Tokoyami. And here the fight kind of goes similar, just that Midoriya doesn't come in fourth. This time he comes in first, because they couldn't take the they couldn't take the 10 million points away, because when Ida actually did his reciprocal burst, what happened is that, and when he used it, Midoriya actually reacted to it, and he actually ducked down so Todoroki couldn't get it. And then Todoroki's team was pretty vulnerable because they couldn't move. But then Midoriya actually wanted Todoroki out of the fight because he knew he was going to be a nuisance, and he thought that he can take the his headband, but of course he couldn't. He actually basically time run out by the time, basically because Bakugo tried to take Bakugo came in earlier, and he tried to take the 10 million, but then Midoriya's team dodged, and Bakugo basically tried to, then the time finished and Bakugo fell. So the fights here are pretty much the same. So the first fight, Midoriya actually does not answer the question, and basically once he's pushing back once he's pushing back, so Midoriya's fight is against Shinso as the original, and he doesn't answer his questions, and he is pushing him out, and Shinso is telling him that you're actually lucky that you actually have a quirk, and he's saying that you're actually so lucky that you have a quirk that you can fight with, while me, look at us, look at me, I cannot fight with my quirk. I have to answer them questions, so that's why I couldn't get into the hero course. And Midoriya could kind of relate, and he didn't want to answer, but once he pushed him out, he said, "I'm sorry, but your power is much more than useless. It's actually really good. You can actually destroy villains if they just answer you, but if I were you, I would stay in the shadows, because if you became too famous and you were up against a strong villain, they would know that you have this power, so they wouldn't even talk while fighting, and you would pretty much lose. So it's better for you to not show your powers to everyone." And basically Shinso is like, kind of understands Midoriya and says it's fine, and he goes off and he says, "So Midoriya, you better win, yeah?" And he asked that as a question, and Midoriya's like, "Yeah, I will, for me and you." And then basically Shinso's like, "You should be more careful, Midoriya." And Midoriya's basically under his control, and then he's let out and says, "Well, Midoriya, you still need to be careful. Even though I'm not in the fight, I could still control you to lose, right?" And Midoriya's like, "Yeah." And he got controlled again, and then Shinso lets him out and says, "I just told you not to answer me." And Midoriya just stays silent, and Shinso walks off. So people are actually impressed by Shinso's quirk at the end, because he did still use it, and Midoriya was under his control, and they were kind of confused because Midoriya was talking, and then he just stopped out of nowhere, and he was just looking around, and then once he got loud, he was dazed, like he was confused on what just happened, and they were like, "What?" And someone from his class said that Shinso has the power to control people just by answering a question, and they got really impressed, and everyone's like, "Hey, look, Shinso, they're actually impressed by your power." And Shinso's happy about this, so he walks off. And then the fight against Todoroki goes the same. Todoroki is actually kind of pissed that he couldn't win any of them, and his father saw him coming second twice, not once but twice. So he wants to destroy Midoriya. He's not annoyed at Midoriya, he just wants to show his father that he doesn't need his power. So he wants to finish the fight quick. So then he gets into the quarterfinals, I think. Yes. No, wait. I think. Wait. I'm confused. So if you win the first one, you go into the full. There are 2 fights. Yeah, I think it was the semi-finals. So there are 4 groups. Yeah, it was this. He gets onto the semi-finals. Yes, and basically no. Is it semis? Yeah, semi-finals. I'm so confused, guys. Semi-finals, whatever. I don't care. And basically, it's against Midoriya, and all the other fights go pretty much the same except for Uraraka's one. Bakugo's kind of more angry, so he kind of goes all out, and there is more degree for him to destroy. So he uses a lot more power in this fight because he destroyed more of the of the arena, or not the arena, the 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 ground, and Uraraka had more debris to throw at him. So that's where I'm going to end. I'm going to cover the next few fights on the next part of this wave. This has no like goals, so I hope you all enjoyed this. Please take care, stay safe, and this is the King of Weeps here. And also, before I leave, please follow me on Twitter and join my Discord, and let's try to get to 800 subscribers by tomorrow. I'm only like 40 away. I hope you all enjoyed anyways. Please take care, stay safe, and peace.